Welcome everyone for this lab number 3.2.1.8. That's in our syllabus. Lab number 4, that is 3.2.1.8, packet tracer, configuring RIP version 2. And here we are, slide number 3218. So I'm going to open up the packet tracer file, and we're going to start the lab with that. Okay. Here I am on the slide, packet tracer RIP version 2, this PKA file. And if anybody from the general public would be watching this video, I want to let you know that this video is meant for my students, my college students, who are going to be following with me live. Therefore, I'm going to go very slowly. This isn't a video that I'm making for the general internet users, making it very concise and saving your time. This is not meant for that. I'm going to be long and slow, and this is to help my students. So if you are anybody is welcome to watch, you're going to learn really well, but it's going to be slow. Thank you. So I'm opening up this slide, that is PKA RIPv2. So once I open up this slide, and now resize the windows, 3.2.1.8. Okay. Okay. So let me read a little bit from the instruction to know what it is about. So background, although RIP is rarely used in modern networks, it is useful as a foundation for understanding the basic networking routing. Okay, good. Let's move on to part 1. Configure RIP version 2. Configure RIP version 2. And step 1. I'm going to configure RIP v2 on R1, router 1. Use the appropriate command to create a default route on R1 for all internet traffic to exit the network through S001. So before we do that, let's take a look at our topology. How does it look like? Here is my R1. I'm seeing a company network that has R1 router, R2 router, and R3 router. These three are my routers. And I have many segments connected to it, LAN segments. This is my whole network. If my companies, any of the end devices would want to go to the internet, they have to come through this way, through R1 and go to the internet. Therefore, they're asking us to configure this R1 to add a default route so that all the traffics from the R1 can go to the internet, to the ISP. And this interface is supposed to be serial 001. That has been told. It says in the instruction right here, serial 001. Okay, so let's do that. So I click on R1, I open it up. Okay, here I am. So because of the confusion, I think a minute ago I was live, then I turned it off, I started live again. So let me go a little bit slow to make sure everybody catches up with me. Okay. Okay. So here I am in the R1. I'm going to go to the CLI, command line interface. Type enable config T. Config T. Enable and config T. So I'm in the config mode. How do I add a default route to go out via serial 001? This is the step 1, point number A is where I'm at. So I'm in the very beginning, the first step that I'm doing right now. So if you all came a little bit late, no worries. We're still in the first step. So I'm in the config mode. config T, I'm doing this IP route 0 0 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0. Okay, that's my IP route. And what interface? Serial 001. Serial 001. That's my default route. Done. So that's my step number 1 done. Now B. So now step 1, A is done. How about B? Enter the RIP protocol configuration mode. Okay. Use version 2 of the RIP protocol and disable the summarization of networks. Okay, I'll do that. Let's do these 2 steps. Enter the RIP protocol configuration mode. So I'm in the config mode, global config mode. I'm going to type router RIP. Okay, router RIP. So here I'm in the RIP mode. Now version 2, VERSION version 2, enter. I'm in the version 2. I want to make sure that RIP is not going to summarize the routes. So I'm going to type no auto summary, AUT tab, press tab, no auto summary, enter. That much is done. Let's see what is the next step. Step number C, I got that done. Okay, number D, configure RIP for the network that connects to R1. So let's see what networks are connecting to R1. Here is R1. What networks are connecting? Let's see. We have this network right here with this gigabit 00 interface, 192.168.10 mask, and this one right here, 192.168.2.0 24 mask. This other network is going to the ISP. I don't have to worry about that one. Going to the internet. Okay, so these 2 networks I have to add. So these will be advertised to my other routers. So I'm going to type, I'm in the RIP mode already. I'm going to type network. I'm going to add some network to advertise. Network 192.168.10, 192.168.1.0. Okay, and then another network that is 2.0. 2.0. These 2 networks I just added. Here's right, if you see my mouse, this one right here and this other one. These are connected to my R1. Fine. Let's go next. Next step, E. Configure the LAN port that contains no routers so that it does not send any routing information. Well, this one interface right here, R1 has this way, there's no router on this side, only end devices or switch or end devices. So that RIP does not have to be advertised through this interface. So that gigabit 00, that interface. If I go here, option preferences and always show, okay, so I can see what interface that is. Yeah, that is gigabit 00. That is gigabit 00. Okay, now so the gigabit 00 via this interface, I don't want RIP to be advertised. So I'm going to type, that's going to become a passive interface. So I click on R1. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to type passive, PASS, okay, tab, passive interface, gigabit 00. Done. That part is done too. And what is the next step? Next step is number F. Advertise the default route configured in step 1A with other RIP routers. So the default route that I wrote for this router, I want this router to advertise that default route to all other routers. How do I do that? I just type default information originate. So just type DEF tab default information and just OR tab originate. Enter. Okay, and then I have to save the configuration. Save the configuration. Okay, how I'm gonna save it? Let's see. How do I save it? I need to go to the which mode? Privileged exec mode. So I'm gonna type end, END. It's gonna take me all at once to privileged exec mode. Enter. There I'm gonna copy. Copy, run, tab, start, tab. So I'm copying the running config to the startup config. Enter. Destination file name startup. Enter. That's it. Copy done. So step 1 is done for me. How about now step 2? Configure the RIP version 2 to R2 on R2. So now I'm going to go into the R2. Here is my R2. Okay. And CLI enable config T. I'm in the config mode. Enter the RIP protocol configuration mode. I'll do that. Use the version 2 of the RIP protocol and disable the summarization of the network. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, so router RIP, enter. Then I'm gonna do version 2, VERSION version 2. Then I'm gonna do no auto summary, so it will not summarize the routes. No, just AUT tab, enter. No auto summary. This is also done. Good. What's next? Configure RIP for the network directly connected to R2. So let's see which networks are directly connected to R2. Here's my R2. There's one network here. Let me take the labels off. It's gonna become difficult for me to see. Options, preference, always. Okay, get the labels off. Okay, now R2 has this network 192.168.2.0, and this one is 4.0, and this is 3.0. So 2, 3, and 4, these networks are connected to R2. Okay, so enter them. So I'm going to type network, network, network 192.168.2.0 and 3.0 and 4.0. Okay, 2, 3, and 4. Double check. 3 here, 2 here, 4 here. Yes, those are the ones connected to R2. Okay, that is done. Now, point number D, configure the interface that contains no routers so that it does not send out routing information. So I have to configure a passive interface for the LAN interface, LAN only. So we see this one, this way, gigabit 00, this port does not have any router. So I'm going to make that interface as a passive interface. Okay, so I'm going to write PAS tab gigabit 00. That is done too. And then save the configuration. So for that, I'm going to type end, END, to go to the privileged exec mode. And then I'm going to copy, run, tab, start tab. So copy running config to startup config. Enter. Enter. Good. I'm done with that. Now what? So far at this point we have 75 out of 100, 75 point out of 100 point achieved. Step number 3, configure the RIP version 2 on R3. So repeat the step 2 on R3. So R3 I have to do the same thing. Go to the RIP mode. So let's see. Now I'm going to go into the R3. CLI R3 enable config T. Okay, now RIP mode, router, RIP. Okay, version 2, VER tab 2. Then we have no auto summary. No auto summary. Enter. So no summarization. And then configure the directly connected network. So I'm going to say network. Let's see which networks are directly connected to R3. R3 has 192.168.5.0 and 192.168.4.0. One side is 4, one side is 5. These two networks. So network 192.168.4.0. Another one would be 5.0. These two networks are added. And then I also have to configure the passive interface. So which one is the passive interface in here? That which interface does not have any more router? This way, right here. That's gigabit 00 on R3. So I'm going to say passive PASS tab gigabit 00. That shows me 100 points right now. So point wise I'm done, but also I have to save the configuration. So I'm going to do copy. Oh no, I cannot do it here. I have to exit out of there. Type end back to privileged exit mode. I'm going to copy now. Copy, run, and start. Copy running config, startup config. Okay, enter, enter. Good, copying is done. Now let's look at some more steps here. Part 2, verify configurations. View routing tables of R1, R2, and R3. Use the appropriate command to show the routing table of R1. RIP now appears. Okay, so I'm going to check routing tables R2 and R3 and check all the networks now are there, because the routers are talking to each other and they have created their routing tables with all these networks are known to them now. Okay, for example, I'm in the R3. I'm going to type, I'm in the R3 in the privileged exit mode. I'm going to type show IP route. Interesting. Let's see what I have now. I have all these 3 lines. They are learned by RIP protocol. RRR shows 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. Then I also have the other line that's 4.0. Okay, and then I have 5.0. Yes, it knows all the routes. That's true. How about I go to the R2 and check? R2. I'm in the R2. I'm in the privileged exit mode. I'm going to type show IP route. And in here, I should be able to see if I make it wider. I should be able to see its line separately. Yes. Look at this. 1.0 is here, 2.0 is here, 3.0 is here, 4.0 is here, and 5.0. Everything. Either directly connected or learned via RIP. Even default route is being learned via RIP because my R1 is advertising the default route to other routers. So all good. I'm sure I can do the same in the R1. I'm not going to do that. I'll let you do it. Step 2, verify full connectivity to all destinations. Okay. Every device should now be able to ping every other device inside a network, in addition to ping the web server. Okay. So the web server here, I'm going to go ahead and connect. I'm going to go ahead and ping this web server. That will be enough. I'm going to do that from PC1, and web server's IP address is here. So, well, how about this? I go to the PC3. That's very far away. It has to go through all the routers and eventually go to this web server. I'm going to go to the PC3. From there, I'm going to go ahead and ping the web servers. And PC3 desktop command prompt. I'm in the PC3 desktop command prompt. ping. So all the way from PC3, I'm going to go through route R3, R2, R1, then internet router, then go to the web server. So 64.100.0.10, 64.100.0.10. Request timeout, then I got the reply, okay? And then again, do one more time, ping, and I get reply, okay? And looks like that concludes our lab, and we have the 100 points. So my class, to let you know again, go ahead and do this, save this pka file. For this one lab, we only have to save the packet tracer file, and I'm going to save it into my flash drive. Once you save it, then you upload it. Be sure to upload it. Labs done. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So now we should be able to do this lab. So I hope that it helps everyone. And then let's see. I may go live again tomorrow, but for right now, I would like to tell everybody before you leave is that what you need to do, just as a reminder, the first 4 labs and first 2 chapter exams are due this Sunday. This Sunday, what day is it? Let me check. This Sunday, coming Sunday, is the 12th. Sunday the 12th. Make sure that you do first 2 chapter exams and first 4 labs, which I already uploaded for you. Okay? Have a lot of fun, and catch you all most likely tomorrow. I'm going to go live again to do some more chapter or lab or both. Okay? Until then, goodbye.